Sure, the number of estate agents I've been to where you have a couple of valuers, one charging 2% and one charging 1%. Is that right? Is it fair? Talk to me.
It's a good question, and the reason I would say it's not fair, you should be charging the same people the same amount. But in our office, people do charge different amounts. So I will charge 2.5%. I always charge 2.5% to everybody, even friends, and but I give them a lot extra as regard to the marketing and my time. But there's other agents in our office that might charge 2%, 1.75%. Is that fair? Well, it is, because there's different levels, different standards. Now, there should be some things that are going to be in common about what the marketing involves. But, you know, when an agent is more experienced and more skillful, they can charge more. And it's exactly the same that if you went to an expensive hairdresser's, or certainly for a lady maybe, it may be charging, I don't know, £200 for the head stylist.
Yes.
And there's the different levels of stylists. And then there's the junior who's just started, she's learning the job, and they might charge nothing because she's practiced on you. And it's exactly the same in a solicitor's firm. You've got the senior partner charging £100, £200 an hour. The barrister might be £500 an hour. A junior might be £50 an hour. So in our estate agency business, you do pay for that experience and the value.
What would you say to what would you say to a boss who has got one value at 2 and one at 1%? Let's go to the extremes.
Yeah.
Is it a case of bumping up the value at 1% higher, or pulling the other one back, or just let them get on with it?
So this is a whole new, and you might want to do a different video about fees, or this could be the video about fees.
Let's go on then.
Okay, because you know there's a big difference between what a 1% agent is and what a 2 or 2.5% agent. So the fee should be dictated by what you're providing, the value you're providing, and so there's a big difference. So a 1%, and I say to my sellers when I tell them about the fees, I say I'm 2.5%. But just so you know, there are cheaper agents out there, and they'll charge you 1%. Now, then I'll explain the difference, and I'll say that with a 1% agent, all you're getting is someone just to put it on Rightmove and hope that it sells. That's their strategies.
That's the Purple Bricks model.
And a lot of estate agents, unfortunately, they literally just stick it on Rightmove and hope it sells. And I'm saying to the owner, and that hope isn't really a strategy. You've seen my strategy. There's a whole load of marketing that we're going to be doing, but that's the first thing. They just stick it on Rightmove, and then if it hasn't sold, what they'll do is they'll be ringing you up saying it hasn't sold, and they'll be blaming the politicians, the market, the weather, the school holidays, or something, and they'll be asking you to drop the price until you drop the price, and then eventually, when an offer comes in, guess what they're going to say? They're going to say, "Oh, take it. It's a good offer. You should take it." And because all they're interested in is their commission, and as soon as they've got an offer accepted, they get great on to the next one.
Very transactional.
Yeah. And with me, what you're paying for is my expertise in marketing. So I'm an expert in marketing, not just normal marketing, but social media, digital marketing. Here's my marketing campaign, which I'll go through in a lot more detail. And also you're paying for my negotiation skills. Now, some sellers have said to me that I am worth my fee alone just in my negotiation skills. So I'll be... it's like an auction almost. I'll be getting these bidders up and up and up to pay the maximum price for your home. And I don't care about my commission. I'm not that interested. I'm here to make sure that you get the best price, the best marketing, the best price, that I negotiate hard on your behalf, that I hold your hand through the whole transaction.
How do agents prove that to people on the doorstep or on the sofa?
Well, we've got a 19-step process in our business. And I've got a success formula, a strategy. So I've got systems in place. So I can show anybody how to sell any house in 30 days. So, most estate agents, when you ask them how long is it going to take to sell this house, they'll say, "Oh, how long's a piece of string? It depends on this, that." So I can confidently say, and I have a similar, it works every time. When you know the solution, the system, then you just implement it and follow a system.
Are you able to give us an overview of that? Obviously not going into step by step, but
I could give you every step of it, but I'm going to give you a quick overview. But if anyone wants to know more, you want to do another video, we can do. But some of the things I would be doing, first of all, video. Every listing must have a video and I think Facebook said that 90% of their content will be in video in 2020. So every listing must be a video. it seems old-fashioned not having a video. I mean, do you remember? I remember the days. I'm old enough to remember when estate agents had photocopied of a photo.
Do you remember sticking the photos on?
Yeah, and we were going. I say to the owner, we've got colour photos. They go, oh wow. And then more recently, we might say we do floor plans. They go, wow. And like now, we're doing videos, and so if you think colour photographs are basic and floor plans are basic, well, you know, in a few years you'll be thinking, oh, well, obviously using video, so do it now. Video is essential. Social media marketing. If I'm doing a video and I'm putting that video on Facebook, if that video has not been seen by 10,000 people, I'll be disappointed. Now, I haven't done my job properly. So, and they're not just random people.
And you're getting this out and proving it on the doorstep, saying, look, this is a property like yours, 10,000 people have viewed it.
And, you know, when you say I'm an expert in social media and we'll do a video, and then we do the direct mail cards. So
yeah, these are brilliant.
So the direct mail cards, now, people want to buy when they're selling a house, the buyer for that house is probably, say there's 100 houses for sale in the local area. The buyer for this first one house will probably be one of those 99, because most of the people are moving locally. They want to buy something bigger, and you know it's just a fact. I mean, obviously there's some going to be buying out of the area,
but most are going to be local.
Yeah, and they're selling at the moment.
On the market.
Exactly. So they're the active buyers or sellers. Yes. But I'm also targeting the call them the passive buyers. There was some research recently, I'm not sure who buy, but they said that 40% of the homeowners, that if their ideal home came on the market, they would move. But the reality is that 40% of the people aren't looking. So I'm going to work out who the potential buyer is for that house. So I've just put a house on the market now.
How would you do that? So
I've got the data, and so I can put in the sort of the right demographics. So I've just put a house on the market for £1 million. So, and I've done this exercise. So it works out within.
So is this like a computer system you have, or someone, can another agent go and buy this piece of software?
Yeah, it's available. So
are you able to tell?
So
people?
we get our data from the Guild of Property Professionals.
Love the Guild.
Okay, and we've got similar in Fine & Country, but there are other suppliers. And so, for example, if I went into a search for a 10-mile radius of this particular house, it'd probably be 100,000 homeowners. But when I put in that this buyer for £1 million is probably aged between 35 and 55, they're probably earning £75,000 or more. They're probably living in a house worth between 600 and 800,000. And when you put all the it's a family rather than a retired. There's a whole load of demographics.
Yeah, because Brief Your Market do this as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So and then that number comes down to 278.
And you can send some of these.
Yeah, I'll say I'm going to send out 200 and actually work with the seller. I say, so tell me, when you bought this 10 years ago, you know what? I work out roughly what their age is, what their income. They've got 2 young kids, so we need to find someone like you 10 years ago.
Oh, and then you're involving the vendor.
Yeah, to find their buyer. And they said, well, we lived in the next village.
But that's exactly what the biggest criticism of estate agents is lack of communication. But by involving them, they're feeling involved.
And the biggest problem with estate agents is that they sit back and they're lazy and they're just waiting for the house to sell itself. I'm proactively marketing the property to active buyers who are on the market, and I'm also targeting passive buyers who aren't actually looking, but they'll get an invitation to an open house.
Tell me about what you were telling me before about the open house and how that works, because that improves your fee as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I have an open house strategy. So I'll talk to the owner about the benefits of an open house, and I have an intense marketing campaign, and we've touched on some of the marketing that we do, but there's a whole load of marketing, but I get everyone there on one day. And I know some people don't like it. Generally, the buyers don't like it because suddenly they're bidding against 10 other people. But was it about the invitations I send out on the open houses?
Yes, I particularly like that when we were talking before, we were having lunch before we started, and I'd like to share it with the world of estate agency because I thought it was really clever.
So I'm inviting people that are currently for sale with other estate agents because obviously they're looking to buy a house and they're going to buy locally, so they could buy this house. Now, even if they don't...
And again, you're targeting the right demographics. So if it's a 3-bedroom semi, you're targeting, say, 2-bed semis or the maisonettes.
Yes, exactly. And
we're on the market with other agents.
Yes. And so we're saying come to our open house because they might want to buy it. However, even if they don't want to buy it, I want to tell them about our open house strategy. And our postcard will say something along these lines.
Go on.
That numerous property experts have had a great deal of success with our open house marketing strategy, and the benefits to the seller are: 1, best price because we get multiple bids; 2, convenience because all the viewings are on one day, you don't have to get the house ready once; and 3, certainty because I have a 90% success rate. So if you'd like to know more about our open house marketing strategy, call me or come along to our open house on Saturday.
Well, they'll probably won't ring you, but they'll come along because they're nosy.
Yeah.
So the leaflets, half of it's saying we're doing an open house, and the other half is telling them why you're doing an open house.
Yes.
They come along because they're nosy.
Yeah.
Hold on, that means there's a lot more people going to the open house.
Yes.
So there might be 20 people there. Half of them are nosy.
Yeah.
But then the other 10 are genuine buyers and go, oh my God, we got to offer a bloody good price.
Yes.
That's very clever.
And then the people who are looking, who have got a house for sale with another agent, they're going, they've got 20 people looking around this house in one day. I've only had 4 people look in the last 3 months. And then they're thinking, I wonder if my estate agent is sending out an invitation about my house or new to the market. Yeah. No, they're not. So yeah, then we get lots of people ringing me and say, can you come and sell my house? I just saw you had 20 viewings. And we say, yeah, we had 20 viewings. We had 5 offers and we sold it for over the asking price. They're saying, can you do that for me? Yes, we can. And this is how we do it, step by step. And it's 2.5%. No problem. I don't mind.
Come back to video. What do you do with your video work trying to get a better fee?
Okay. So we've got 2 different brands. We've got Fine and Country brand. So we do pay for a professional video company to come in, and the vendor pays for that. And that's on every listing. And
is that a standard walkthrough sweepy camera thing?
Yeah. Okay. And some of them are obviously, it depends what the vendor wants. And but with Newman's, it's hard to get people to pay up front. I say hard. It's probably just a thing that's stopping us. But so we ask our agents to do a video on every listing. So we've made that policy now, and I've said I don't care if it's a crappy little video on your phone where you're just outside saying, hi, I'm Sean, I've got a 3-bedroom so we just launched to the market, because what we want to do is just get our agents to do it. And then what's happened is when they've started doing it, they've got better and better and better. And some of them, you go, wow. And they've seen the benefits.
So hold on a second. You're asking them to be in front of the camera?
Yes. Now, we have the same objections. Nobody likes the sound of their own voice. Nobody likes what they look like. Everyone thinks, I need to get my hair done. I need to put my best shirt on. Do you know what? No one else cares, and so just do it. And once they've done it, now we've said it's essential. Before we launch a property, it has to have a video.
So do they have to go inside or just outside on a tripod with the property over their shoulder?
So just a video for outside is fine to start with, and that's our level 1.
I tell you what, let me show you with this. A fellow guild member at Newton Fowell in Grantham, Tony. He's been standing outside the house the last 2 years, and he has actually said that his market share has gone from single figures of 8 or 9% to around 15 or 16%, and he puts it all down to the fact that every listing he does, he stands outside the house and gives a minute. Hey, my name's Tony. So this stuff works. I know it does because I'm big on video and I teach a lot of people. What about going inside?
Yeah, well, let me just answer one quick point, is that not only are you promoting the house, you're promoting yourself, the agent, and people, when they see you, go, oh, and they feel like you're the celebrity.
Yeah, yes, because basically, Tony says, people ring up and says, you're the video guy.
Yeah.
And Luke Sinclair at Leicester, he jumped in a taxi with my video guys, and they said, you're the guy that sells houses in Oadby, aren't you?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It works. And so now people want a video. They say, well, we want a video of our house. And so it should be so we've made it a non-negotiable in our business.
This stuff works because, as you know, I taught a lot of your team how to do the videos, and really it's just mobile phones. I do actually have over 20 training videos, guys, on how to do videos. What about going inside?
Yeah, so more of them, once they get started, and this is key, it's not about being perfect. Get started, get perfect later. And so now more of them are doing videos inside, they're doing voiceover, they're doing graphics, they're just going better and better and better. But the key is to get started. So when someone starts and it's not a great video, I'm saying that's brilliant, keep going. And and then they want to improve. They're going, oh, I could do it better. I could do it better. So we've seen some real improvements.
Definitely. I mean, one thing that is you can buy these steady cams where you put your mobile phone into it. And again, we've done some training videos on that, but just sweep through nice, sweep, and think of Homes Under the Hammer. Great tip for you guys is don't look at the camera saying, hello, this is the lounge, and do that. Look at Homes Under the Hammer. I mean, there you go, as an estate agent, you get paid to watch Homes Under the Hammer. They just look at the room and never look at the camera. Just check back to the camera like that and walk around and go, do you know, this is quite nice, and we could change the wall here. And just put the camera up on a tripod in the corner, check back and then just do a couple of rooms. You don't have to do all of them. And I'll tell you what, mate, it works. Well, you know it does.
Yeah, and they're enjoying it as well, and they're promoting themselves.
I mean, share the guys the story. And again, we're going to go on to video in a little. Actually, tell you what, in the next video, why don't we talk about the power of video in estate agency and tell the story of Matt and Summer?
Okay, we'll do that.
Cheers, thank you.